Boy, what a what a day, what a week, what a month. It's been several weeks actually, and I've probably like delayed this video for like so long because just chilling, enjoying my making of my new mutation guide, and then like my subsequent review of Daemon X Machina 2, and then I'm gonna come out with a review of, believe it or not, Monster Hunter Wilds, because we're getting AT New Udra tonight, so that's gonna be exciting. And then also guides for Daemon X, and I'm gonna make like a tiny review. I think I want to get to like level 2 or 3 depth in El Night Rain. I was about to say Elder Ring. It is Elder Ring, but it's like it's Night Rain at that specific game. And then also, last but not least, I want to like catch up with like Mech Warrior 5 and start playing. Well, I know I'm gonna get obsessive over it because it's just like my personality. Like Ghost of Yote. I'm so scared though because I know this. The second I start getting into that game, like it's the only thing I'm gonna be talking about for the next like 3 to 4 months, which is a little sad because we're gonna be getting new DLC for Daemon X next month. I heard that there's gonna be extra DLC coming out before Christmas for Risk of Rain 2. So lots of gaming news. Very very busy. Very very whatever. And also, I hopefully they're gonna make like with the patch that's coming tonight, like loadouts that have your custom layered armor, so you don't have to keep switching all the time. That would be nice if they could finally add it in. They said that they would, so yeah, wow. So Hassan and his dog, his cute little dog that he can't stop shocking. Apparently, he shocked it multiple times, and just like this guy, rage quit. He didn't rage quit right away. Like he did some like weird thing where he like disconnected. I don't even think he rage quit actually. I think it was just like a genuine disconnection or something like that. Yeah, there you go. um, like he just incriminated himself like almost 100%. Everyone's just coming out of nowhere to like throw shade, and rightfully so, because he has that personality where people just don't like him for the stuff that he does and he says, and his life and career's over, and people are just trying so desperately to salvage it. It's like, no, he's still cool. He's still hip with the kids. His sideburns are like permanently shaved off. He's like dyeing his like beard and like his hair to, like, I don't know. I think his hair isn't his natural hair, so he doesn't have to worry about the grays. But his sideburns do. The grays and the whites. White hair, man. Wow. The sign of like seniority. Oh man. And like that's not even the worst part. The worst part is like, can you imagine like even like people like Destiny can just punch low at you, and everyone's just like taking shots at you, like they're just like feasting on your corpse, like you're just like still in the water, just like barely hanging on by a thread, twitching, and these piranhas come out of nowhere and just like to the bone, just tear every part of you that's left off. Till there's just nothing but the bones. And that's it. That's how this ends. That's how this ends. It's to the bone. To the bone. Like so many like videos coming out incriminating him. And I wanted to make this video because I've noticed something that sounds really really stupid, but I think everybody would agree with me. Um yeah. Not all girls, but some girls are really 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 beautiful. Like almost insanely beautiful. Like it's weird. And I only bring this up because, well, there was this incident at Twitch, and I think everybody's heard about it, and it's very telling of the atmosphere that not only simultaneously allows like terrorists and people to take off clothes and do all these like questionable things on the scale of morality, but also question the morality of other people, people who don't like vote a certain way or think a certain way or just look a certain way, right? But like it also like goes to show like how they sensationalized it. You'll have this like gathering of people, and you don't secure it, you don't maintain any perimeter whatsoever, you just allow it to be permeated with like people of questionable origin, and very much so in the case of this incident did we see this occur. I could like put it up to it being just like negligence and like I guess thoughtlessness. Like people just didn't really care. Like they didn't really like expect it to happen, but they also didn't care that it happened. It's just that. But then like the response was just so like lukewarm. It was just like, why would you even say it type of thing? Like why would you even open your mouth and like it's almost as if like you were better off not saying anything, because when you said something like that, it just made you look worse. Like very much like in the case of Hassan. Like it's funny too how like they both fall in that classification of like having stupid friends or saying stupid things and making yourself look worse in the process. So I'm making this video because I think that this Halloween is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a lot more dangerous, and there's a very strong likelihood of attacks, whether it's like terrorists or lonely men or a mixture of both. Antifa, incels, terrorists. Excuse me. And the reason why I have like such a strong feeling that it's going to happen, it's because the jealousy of men. Like it's almost woefully apparent that when this war ended, which I'm actually surprised that like when it ended, it kind of didn't. You know what I mean? Like they ended the war, the hostages were released, but then it almost like went back to them like fighting and stuff, like almost right away. Like maybe not right away, like maybe a couple days, like after the hostages released, like you hear about like people getting executed, and it's the mayhem, Monday mayhem. Well, today's Monday. This happened like a while ago. Uh, yeah, it's weird how these protests have been happening for so long, and now that they have their free state of Palestine and the people of the state of Palestine were able to go back to their home towns, whatever, like all like the entire caravan of them. You'd think that this conflict would like see some sort of a conclusion, like whether both sides admit that they were like sensationalized into it, or like one side admits they were like on the wrong or whatever for pressuring the other side or this or that. Uh, no, it's very much a conflict that has eaten away at people's mental faculties, and this is how they identify their reality. They want this war to perpetuate because it is part of their core identity. They don't have a long lasting solution for either side. So here we are. Barreling towards Halloween Friday. Ooh la la. I was actually thinking about going out. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Most likely not, because it's like, if I do, I think I'm gonna sensationalize other people going out, and it's like, whatever. I can go out party another day, as lame as that sounds. Excuse me. But, you know, like, I shouldn't let not only that day dictate when I should go out, but also like the idea of like the mass of people just being out there at the mercy of it all. Stampedes of people, or like, people mistreating you, and like you're in a crowd of people, and like you can't get away, or you have to fight your way out. And worse yet, like what happens if somebody brings a gun? Like these are these types of things that I wouldn't be so worried about like 5, 10, 15 years ago, because I wouldn't just say it was under control. Like there were serious ramifications for it. Like if you were to hear someone had a gun or this or that, like that that person was throwing their life away because they're going to go to jail for a significant amount of time. But I don't know what happened with this bail reform. Now we have people who are just out and about, you know, for serious crimes, and they're recirculating back into the general public. So the mayhem is upon us. Like, do I think that people who slip through the cracks of this very broken system will make their way downtown? Oh, absolutely. For sure. And the reason why is because that's where the money is. Like, there's, all those people, they have wallets, they're spending money, they're buying drinks, this or that. And I don't know exactly what the hustle is, or if there is one. I doubt it, because it's like, the whole safety and numbers thing. Maybe I'm just being paranoid. But the idea that, like, you know, you don't necessarily know who's going to go out for Halloween. People are all going to be wearing masks and, like, outfits, this or that. Like, I guess you could be considered safe in the regard that nobody's going to see your face or know who you really are, but again, like, here's the thing, like, people are going to go out, right? And I hate to be the person who breaks the bad news, but the majority of the people who are going to go out, and I'm not going to point the finger, both guy and girls, but they're both going to be like single, majority of them. But majority of the single people, like numbers wise, are going to be just guys. That's just a fact of life, right? Now, if you have that, and then the pressure cooker of, like, wanting to go out and meet somebody but you can't, and then you're in a club and it's like all crowded, and this and that, right? Well, not only is it a recipe for disaster, it's only a matter of time before somebody acts out, because whatever it is, if it's the alcohol, the thought of you wasting your time coming out, or just like, to just fuck with people, some people just like to do that, like, I think that this Halloween, at least for me specifically, I don't want to speak for anybody else. Like, if you want to go out and have fun during Halloween, trust me, I know what that's like, to, like, want to go out and feel left out, the whole, you know, just wanting to meet somebody type thing. Even though, like, you're shy or whatever, you're not sure of yourself. But yeah, then again, you just want to try your hardest, even if you fail, which I did most of the time anyway. But, like, you know, I can get behind the idea that, like, people want to go out and find, like, love on Halloween. It's just, I worry that, people don't understand the delicacy of that, and, like, let alone they don't have the capability of, knowing it, having it, or whatever. Just the idea of being happy with somebody else. I think that like I alienated myself for that a little bit too, but that's besides the point, right? Um, so yeah, like this whole war in Gaza with Israel ending, it's gonna most likely have some side effects that, we're gonna feel for years to come. The bitterness of it all, like I think the whole thing was that they didn't really want to make Hamas admit defeat, like make them look like they admitted defeat because it just make everyone feel upset. So the way they went about it was like they're just like, okay, you're gonna disarm and then this and that, give Palestine back to the Palestinian people, or so they say. Yeah, what a world we live in, huh? There's other stuff I want to talk about, Russia and Ukraine. I don't feel it's my place because I just don't know the facts, unfortunately. Like I thought I did. Like, okay, easy, cut, clear cut. Russia is the aggressor. Ukraine is the good guys. But what I didn't know, they're still conscripting men into the army forcefully too. The way they do it is like a little on like it raises eyebrows. You can't really call this like a fight of good versus evil, and that's just like one of the many conflicts now. Apparently, a mercenary group wants to go into Nigeria to safeguard the Christians from the genocide that basically nobody else talks about. And, I guess God bless them because nobody else will. I mean, not bless them, I mean, like, just go in there and do that job. No, it was dangerous, but, like, you have to know the locale, the area, the wildlife. It's not easy, but that's what it's come to. Like the crazy, leftist world of lay people who are very much paid for and bought. The paid for and bought opinions. Watching them crash and burn. It's kind of delightful. It's strange how like they are the ones who assumed that it was you who would, I know I say a lot, like fall down, crash, just like not be full of yourself with your faculties. You're just like brought down by the mania of like the globalist opinions, media, movie stars, TV shows, cartoons, right? They went all out too. And when you see like the fact that like there's just hollow ass people and like they can't like not only defend themselves for the bad things that they do, but also like answer for the crimes that they committed. Because it's always the other side's fault. I was actually worried about China and Taiwan for the longest time, but now I'm not. It's just, China did so well for itself. The scare of like, World War III is gone. If China doesn't want to fight, we're all safe. China's just like, advancing with all this technology and cool stuff like flying cars, robots. It's really neat, It's about time that like, some people just stopped, fighting and like, being greedy all the time. Like, yeah, you can like enjoy like the nice things in life, but I think like the whole identity of possessions that the West has, and it's even rubbing off on the Middle East, where they think like more is better instead of like, you know, being more innovative, being more, you know, thoughtful, creative. It's a very strong divide, I think, and that's why one of the reasons why I don't think that like this Russia versus Ukraine thing is gonna last that much longer, because the world's just like fed up with it. Like, we want progress, we want, you know, not necessarily peace, because it's not our place to say what other people do for their freedoms or what they want, right? It's not our place to say that, but at the same time, like, if you're gonna drag the entire world, blah blah blah, sorry, entire world into like this, you know, tariff-esque, you know, what is it, sanction-ridden world, then we all have to like figure out that, yeah, maybe these wars weren't worth it to begin with. I mean, Trump's like used it. He says that like it's a tool and stuff, but I think that like inevitably it'll come back to bite you in the ass, because it's like you would want that country to be more advanced and be a better trading partner, because even though like you had disagreements with their, you know, policies and like their neighbors or their, like, you know, whatever regime or like bordering countries, this that, right? That's the way I see it. Like, basically Europe, I don't know if it still does, but at one point it basically relied on Russia exclusively for gas from that pipeline. And I think Biden was the one who blew it up, but he's just like, he's acting like all dumb and senile. So he's, I don't know what you're talking about. What's going on? Ah, man. I wonder how much they spent on it too. Russia must have got so pissed. Fucking Biden. It was probably Hillary's idea. For real. I'm telling you, man. We're so safe that Hillary wasn't president, we would have been dragged into World War III so fast, man. So fast. And like, people don't understand like how or why like Hillary's like that. Let me explain. Okay. So for years, like beyond the humiliation of like the whole scandal with her husband, like she was working in politics for years, right? She barely ever held any position of power, and when she did, she utilized it to the maximum extent and became like a senator, basically. And now, like, she is wallowing away in depression because her plans for world domination, you know, they're not there. But you gotta watch out, because this Halloween, you know, things much more scarier than Hillary Clinton might be out there. Alright? Okay, take care everybody, and happy Halloween. I'll make more videos though, so whatever.